And I think a lot of people take this wrong. You know, when we start talking about physicality in younger athletes as they physically mature, we're talking about their ability to impact a baseball, both from a pitching perspective and obviously as a hitting perspective. And hitting is something I would love for you to share with student athletes and obviously parents that find their way, the importance of being able to impact a baseball. You know, we start talking about strength and size and physicality, and obviously we're talking about weight training, strength training, et cetera. But the ability to impact the baseball, Altuve can impact the baseball the same way Judge can impact the baseball. It's about the ability to inflict pain
Yeah.
from a barrel onto a ball. Can you just discuss that mindset that is necessary of a hitter to not just be content with making contact, but impacting a baseball?
Yeah, there's a couple of things there that I think are really important. One is that I think we misconstrue a little bit what the weight room needs to be,
Right,
right? Which is,
right,
well, you just got to get huge. Well, no, I mean that's, get bigger for sure. Like, don't be me.
right.
I don't think Carney's listening to this. My old college coach listening to this podcast probably, but he's enjoying golf in Arizona. But I was 128 pounds, I think, when I weighed in my freshman year of college. I mean, it's the biggest regret that I have, that I didn't understand that more, didn't have people that could help me with that more. And you got to get some size, you got to get bigger. You can't just wait for it to happen, right? So there's part of that, but that's not just it, right? You can be 225 pounds of rock solid muscle, but if you don't know how to control your body, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't, right? That's the athleticism part that I was talking about earlier. The ability to control your core, right? Work from the middle and have all of your appendages, the farther you get apart, the more control you have, the better you have a chance to impact the baseball. That's leverage, right? It's simple physics. And Altuve is a great example of, he's small, but he's also pretty strong, right? And he is super in control of his body, and his body knows how to create stretch and balance and tension. And that's where I think most kids forget about it. They're just, maybe they have, a PE teacher that helps them lift, and they have a class and they lift, or maybe they have a coach who tells them, hey, you got to get in the weight room. But what are we doing in there? Are we doing things that actually increase functional fitness and functional strength? Core stability is the biggest lacking that I see from our young guys coming in. Is they might have a little strength, upper body or even lower body, or have some size, it looks like, but learning how to control their posture, learning how to control themselves, when they get off platform a little bit, right? It's one thing to stand there when it's easy, but right when their footing's off a little bit, or they get sped up a little bit, or that ball moves into them a little bit, what do? Right? Do they still know how to create some space and some balance? That's the weight room showing up, right? If you can use the weight room to build your understanding of how your body moves weight, that's everything. And the earlier we can get kids to understand that, I think and I hate I hate to be, to pile on with, kids these days are overcoached, and, everybody's got a private hitting coach, and much of that is great, right? That is awesome. I wish I had a private hitting coach when I was that age. But if parents spent as much money, or kids spent as much